Hello, I am back. I am back with a new chapter, new board, totally new setup. So in last classes we completed alkali halides and aryl halides. That is the first chapter of the second year organic chemistry. So now let us start the second chapter, that is alcohols, phenols and ethers. It's a very excellent topic in second year organic chemistry. It is one of the megastar topic. This one involves so many important reactions. So we can follow strictly even from second chapter. So this one I am saying to the students, those who are not following properly previous videos. So here so next chapter, alcohols, phenols and ethers. Alcohols, phenols and ethers. So first of all here, this alcohol contains OH function and this phenol also contains OH function and ether contains just oxygen. On both sides alkyl groups are present. That is the ether. Now in case of phenols, that OH group is directly attached to the benzene ring. So all those compounds are the phenolic compounds, and this compound is commonly known as phenol, and other derivatives are called as phenolic compounds. Okay, of course let us discuss phenols and ethers after completion of the alcohols. So first of all, alcohols, compounds containing OH function. Here in this case, they are the derivatives of the aliphatic hydrocarbons. But suppose in case of the aliphatic hydrocarbons, if one of the hydrogen replaced by the OH, that is the alcohol. That means here OH group is attached to the aliphatic compound. That means that aliphatic carbon is attached to the OH, but here this OH is directly attached to the benzene in case of the phenolic compounds. Now here alcohols, for example this one is the ethane. Now this is the ethyl alcohol. Okay, so here alcohols contains OH function. Alcohols contains OH function. Now here, so again here classification. In the chapter we will discuss the classification and nomenclature of alcohols, and second one preparation methods, and third one chemical properties, and fourth physical properties. So under preparation methods we will discuss the RMDX reactions. RMDX means here Grignard reagent. RMDX is a Grignard alkyl magnesium halide is a Grignard reagent. And next alkenes, hydration, addition of water molecule to the alkenes will get the alcohols. Next diazotylation of aliphatic amides. Diazotylation of aliphatic amides can also produce primary alcohols. or secondary alcohols or tertiary alcohols. And next, very most important reactions, reaction of carbonyl compounds and acid derivatives. Reduction reactions of carbonyl compounds and acid derivatives. And next, in chemical properties, mostly we will discuss dehydration and oxidation. This oxidation is the reverse reactions of reduction reactions. So from different compounds we can prepare the alcohols by the reduction. By the oxidation of alcohols we can prepare the different compounds. So dehydration, oxidation are the most important properties. Okay, and then alkylation and acylation. These are the chemical properties we will discuss in the chapter. Okay, the most important reactions in this case are RMDX reactions, reduction reactions, dehydration and oxidation reactions. So very important chapter this one, alcohols. So you know that alcohols are very useful. So generally nowadays every person using alcohol, of course not in the form of beer, not in the form of vodka. Nowadays that alcohol is being used in the form of sanitizers. So every time we are cleaning our hands by using sanitizer because of the corona effect. So that sanitizer contains alcohol. Alcohol sanitizer we are using right now. Okay, so alcohol is useful in many ways. So let us start discussion about the alcohols. Okay, so first here take this notes if you want. Okay, first classification of alcohols. So first one, monohydric compounds. Monohydric compound means that compounds containing only one OH. Monohydric compounds means the compounds containing only one OH. Maybe primary or maybe secondary or maybe tertiary. That means here if one OH group is attached to the primary carbon, that is a primary alcohol. Okay, next here CH3H OH. This OH attached to the secondary carbon, so secondary alcohol. So like the classification of alkyl halides. Alkyl halides also classified into primary, secondary, tertiary. They are also same. Now if the OH group attached to the tertiary carbon, tertiary alcohol, of course it is a tertiary butyl alcohol. Now this is secondary propyl alcohol, or simply it is also known as isopropyl alcohol. And you know this one, ethyl alcohol. That's it. So monohydric compounds, primary, secondary, tertiary. Or maybe allylic alcohols. You know this one, this is the allylic carbon. So this is allyl alcohol. You know this one, benzyl alcohol. This is the benzylic carbon. Benzyl alcohol. That is benzylic carbon. So benzyl alcohol. Okay. allyl alcohol, benzyl alcohol. Of course, a primary, so primary allyl you can say. Or in case of the secondary allyl alcohol, that carbon is secondary carbon. This is the series, secondary carbon. Or for suppose this benzene and this one methyl and OH and this one methyl. This is a tertiary benzyl alcohol. We can say tertiary benzyl alcohol. So like this here, monohydric alcohols can be classified into primary, secondary, tertiary, allyl, benzyl. Okay, like classification of alkyl halides, primary, secondary, tertiary, allyl halides, benzyl halides, like that. Okay, so monohydric alcohols. Next, dihydric alcohols. Example, you know this one? This one, glycol. The compound contains two OH groups. It is a vicinal diol. This one, vicinal diol. This is the glycol, and actually here, jump diols are unstable. This is the geminal diol, or simply jump diol. This jump diol is unstable compound. Why it is unstable compound? The two electronegative groups, that means here two oxygen atoms are attached to the carbon, and here there is a chance for the loss of water molecule, and here there is a formation of the C double bond O. Here this C double bond O has a higher enthalpy of formation than this jump diol. That's why ready loss of water molecule takes place. Okay, C double bond is stronger than the two carbon oxygen sigma bonds. So that's why jump diols are not exist. Of course, these are very unstable, or maybe some we will discuss. We will study in further days. In some specific jump diols are also stable. Okay, about that one we will study in further classes. So here vicinal diol. Okay, and next third one, trihydric compounds. Trihydric compound means here the compound contains three OH groups. So this is glycerol or glycerin. So that is the classification of alcohols. Okay, primary, secondary, tertiary, allyl, benzyl, glycol, there is a diol, there is a tri. Okay, take this. Next, we will discuss the nomenclature of alcohols. Writing basic nomenclature. So generally, the suffix which is used for the alcohols is a ol, O-L. That means here alkane plus ol, alkanol is the IUPAC name of compounds containing OH. First suppose, that means here secondary suffix is ol. So alkane plus O, alkanol. For suppose CHCOH, this is methane plus O, methanol, and generally known as methyl alcohol. So in case of the giving common name for the alcohols, just we have to add the alkyl group and alcohol. So methyl alcohol, and this one also known as carbinol. And CH3CH2OH, this one ethane plus ol, ethanol, or you can say this one ethyl alcohol. Then alcohol. CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3, here OH. So this is the 1, 2, 3, 4. So it totally carbons 4. So butane 2O. 2 butanol. Simply you can say 2 butanol. And generally it is a secondary carbon. This is secondary alcohol. OH attached to the secondary carbon. So secondary butyl alcohol. Secondary butyl alcohol. Okay. Next, neopentyl alcohol. CH3, CH2, OH. This one general name is neopentyl alcohol. Because this group is a neopentyl group. This group is neopentyl group. So neopentyl alcohol. And IUPAC name 1, 2, 3. So here 2 methyl, 2 methyl. So 2, 2 dimethyl. 2, 2 dimethyl propane 1 mole propanol. That is IUPAC. Now here the compound containing double bond and functional. Double bond and OH functional. In this case here, we have to give the priority for the functional. The functional group carbon must get the least number. So 5 carbons. So here pent 3 in 2O. Okay, pent 5 carbons, 3 in and 2O. So that's it. And now first suppose, let us discuss this one. Double bond and OH. So functional base I create 1, 2, 3. So cyclo hex 2 in 1 mole. Cyclo hex 2 in 1 mole. First suppose this one OH and this is methyl and double bond. So first we have to start the numbering from the OH carbon, and next there is a double bond that is getting the number 2, and then substituent that is getting the number 2. 1, 2 or 1, 2. Here between double bond and substituent, the double bond gets a high priority. So here 2, 3, 4. That means here 4 methyl cyclobute 2 in 1 mole. 4 methyl cyclobute 2 in 1 mole. So that is the IUPAC name of organic compound. Now first suppose this OH group and this one OH group and double. Here in this case actually 2 OH groups are there. 2 OH groups are there and 1 double bond is there. So first here we have to give the priority for the both double bonds. Sorry, both functional groups, that is the OH and OH. As possible as the 2 carbons which are attached to the OH group must get the least number. So in this case we have to start from the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Here another way for this compound 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here in this case double bond position 2, double bond position 4. So which one have to give the priority actually? So here double bond is getting the least number, but in this case the function groups getting 1 and 5. But in this case here 1 and 3. So you have to give the priority for this one. It's an incorrect number, it is a correct number. So in this case cyclo hex 4 in 1, 3 diol. Cyclohex 4 in 1, 3 diol. That is the IUPAC. Okay. Here E is added because this word is starting with consonant letter. Okay. So important. First suppose another compound. Here OH, here SH. Between OH and SH, which one is the high priority? OH group has a high priority. So SH treated as a substituent. Now numbering can be started from this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because here it is a substituent, it is a double bond. Because substituent and double bond gets the high priority. And this is treated as a prefix, that means substituent. So 5 SH as a substituent named as mercapto. 5-mercapto cyclohex 2-ene 1-ol. That is the IUPAC name of that compound. Okay, so that is interesting compound. Now another example. Here OH and OH, this one double bond, and this one OH. So in this case, numbering must be started from this carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because here all three OH functions will get the least number. Okay, so that's it. So you can write the name of this compound. So that is the nomenclature of alkanes. Okay, right. In this naming of alcohols, actually there is a different method, that is a Carbino system. Carbino system. In nomenclature of alcohols, there is a Carbino system. It is an old system. So actually it is known as that methyl alcohol is known as a carbinol. Methyl alcohol is known as a carbinol. So in the form of this carbinol, the compounds are named. That means here, in the carbinol, on the carbon there are 3 hydrogens. For suppose, if one hydrogen replaced by the methyl, so remaining one CH2OH. Okay. Here in this case, in methyl alcohol, one hydrogen replaced by the methyl. So here, this compound is named as methyl carbinol. Methyl carbinol. Carbinol means here CH2OH. That indicates the alcohol with one carbon. Now here one hydrogen replaced by the methyl. So methyl carbinol. Methyl carbinol. First suppose CH3, CH2, CH2OH, carbinol, and this is a ethyl. So ethyl carbinol. Ethyl carbinol. The compound is ethyl carbinol. First suppose CH3, 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 CH2OH is nothing but neopentyl alcohol. This neopentyl alcohol is named in the name of carbinol, that is the tertiary butyl carbinol. Very simple one, tertiary butyl carbinol. And generally you are saying this is a neopentyl alcohol, but in the name of carbinol, tertiary butyl carbinol. Okay, that's it. First suppose this compound, this cyclopropyl. So cyclopropyl carbinol. This is the cyclopropyl carbinol. Okay, there is a carbinol system. That's it. And generally here, this compound is CH2OH. This is the benzyl alcohol. You know this one? Benzyl alcohol. So here, this is a phenyl. So totally this group is known as a benzyl. And this simple benzene is named as a phenyl. So it also named as phenyl carbinol. Phenyl carbinol. It is a carbinol system. Okay? Right. By stopping the video, we have to write the notes. Okay? That's it. Now, let us start the very, very important preparation method of the alcohols. That is the Grignard reagent. The scientist name Victor Mayer Grignard. So he prepared the Grignard reagent, and he gave so many applications of Grignard reagent. He got the Nobel Prize also for this Grignard reagent. So first, preparation methods. preparation methods of alcohols. First one is the Grignard reagent. Grignard reagent, nothing but alkyl magnesium halide. Alkyl magnesium halide, simply represented as RMgX or MgX. Alkyl magnesium halide. Alkyl magnesium halide. That's it. So here that alkyl magnesium halide. First of all, we have to know one definition, that is organometallic compounds. Organometallic compounds, simply OMC. We are saying that OMC. What is the organometallic compound? Organometallic compounds contains carbon metal bond. Carbon metal bond. That is the organometallic compound. If any compound contains bond between the carbon and metal, like lithium, copper, or magnesium, or cadmium, so they are organometallic compounds. What are the examples for the organometallic compounds? For example, this one, methyl magnesium chloride is organometallic compound, is nothing but Grignard reagent. That alkyl group may be methyl, ethyl, phenyl, benzene, whatever it is, just an alkyl group. So Grignard reagent, this one. And you know that CH3 twice CuLi, it is a Gilman's reagent. Which one? Gilman's. It is a Gilman's reagent. Lithium dialkyl, lithium dialkyl cuprate, lithium dialkyl cuprate, this one. Okay, and there is a bond between the carbon and copper. Here bond between the carbon and magnesium. Here bond between the carbon and copper. And another one you can say alkyl lithium. You can say dialkyl cadmium. All these are the organometallic compounds because there is a bond between the metal and carbon. For example, here CH3, C double bond O, or suppose OLi, or sodium. Let us take sodium is O minus Na plus. It's not a OMC, organometallic compound, because there is no bond between the metal and carbon. There is a bond between the metal and oxygen. It's not organometallic compound. Okay. And next one. So that is the definition of the organometallic compounds. Next here, preparation of this organometallic, that means preparation of Grignard reagent. So mostly we will discuss the Grignard reagent and alkyl lithium, and somewhere we will discuss this Gilman's reagent and dialkyl cadmium also. Okay, first here preparation of Grignard reagent. Any alkyl halide on treating with magnesium in the presence of either solvent, we will get the RMgX. So here, what is the R? That is a primary or secondary or tertiary or allyl or vinyl or phenyl or benzyl, whatever it is. Okay, alkyl group may be whatever it is. So that may be any alkyl group, primary, secondary, tertiary, allyl, vinyl, phenyl, and benzyl. And here X means here, that means here fluorine to iron. Okay, next this ether is a solvent. This is solvent in this image. That means here generally we are using diethyl ether. Diethyl ether or tetrahydrofuran, THF. Tetrahydrofuran. This one is the tetrahydrofuran, TH. They are the solvents. And now here, what is the reactivity of alkali halides? Okay, first of all, write on this one. alkyl halides. So, alkyl iodide and alkyl bromide, alkyl chloride and alkyl chloride. So here alkyl iodides are more reactive. It is the reactivity of alkyl halides in preparation of Grignard reagent. Because here this carbon iodine bond is a weaker bond. This bond is a weaker bond. So actually here this magnesium is inserted between carbon and halogen. The magnesium inserted between carbon and halogen. So alkyl magnesium halide. So that is the reactivity. And next here, what is the role of solvent? This role of solvent. Here stabilize RMDX. That means Grignard reagent. How that solvent stabilize the Grignard reagent? So generally either means here that oxygen contains non-bonding electrons, so acting as a donor, so they form a dative bond. By the formation of the dative bond, that solvent stabilize the Grignard reagent. Okay, so that's why you are using the either solvent. And next one, in RMGX, here -1, here +2, here minus. This bond has ionic nature. This bond has ionic nature because here the bond between the metal and non-metal is nothing but ionic bond. Of course, it has some covalent nature, but here mostly it has a ionic nature. The Grignard reagent has an ionic nature. So in this case, that alkyl group present as anion. That means here R minus present as R minus. Okay. Now this benzene, fluorine and this chlorine. So this one I am treating with magnesium tetrahydrofluoride. So in this case here, that magnesium insertion takes place between carbon and chlorine because of weaker bond. And for suppose CH2CH, Cl or bromine, vinyl bromide, this one also can be used in preparation of Grignard reagent, MgBr, like this. Okay. So our tertiary also can be used, CH3Cl, or we can take iodine. So I am treating with magnesium tetrahydrofluoride. So CH3 and CH3 Mgi, tertiary butyl magnesium iodide. So that the preparation of the Grignard reagent and reactivity of alkyl halides. Here alkyl halides are more reactive, and this either solvent is used because that stabilize the Grignard reagent by forming dative bond. And next here that alkyl magnesium halide has ionic nature because they are magnesium metal and they are non-metal, and alkyl group means nothing but carbon non-metal, so that has ionic nature. So alkyl group present as anion R minus. Now here we can prepare by Grignard reagent. For suppose here carbon fluorine and carbon chlorine. So carbon chlorine bond is a weaker bond, so magnesium insertion takes place between carbon and chlorine. It is a vinyl bromide. So in this case generally vinyl halides are not involved in substitution reaction. You studied in SN1 SN2 reactions. But here magnesium insertion is possible between carbon and bromine. Okay, that's it. And tertiary butyl iodide, on treating with the magnesium, you will get the tertiary butyl magnesium iodide. Okay, so that is the preparation of the Grignard reagent. Now, applications of Grignard reagent. Okay, applications of Grignard reagent. So first, write this one. In Grignard reagent, alkyl group present as a R minus. R minus means here, first suppose this RH, loss of H plus, So loss of H plus means here acid. If it is an acid, this R minus is a conjugate base. That is known as generally you are saying conjugate base. R minus is a conjugate base. First suppose CH3H, CH3 minus and H plus. So CH3 minus is a conjugate base. That is the conjugate base. Now here, this conjugate base is also acting as a nucleophile because that is negatively charged species, so nucleophile. So in Grignard reagent, that R minus acting as a conjugate base, that means acting as a base that remove the proton, that accept the proton, and acting as a nucleophile. Nucleophile means an electron donor. So this one contains the electrons in the form of that negative charge. Okay, this one contains the electrons in the form of negative charge. So acting as a nucleophile. So conjugate base and nucleophile. So here, very very important point. This one, RMDX acting as conjugate base or nucleophile. Conjugate base or nucleophile. So now here, let us discuss the reactions in which Grignard reagent acting as a conjugate base. So first one, RMDX as conjugate base. That means here accept the H plus from proton source, from any proton source. We can write from any proton source. Any proton source. So any proton source means nothing but acid. First suppose this RMGX, I'm treating with acid proton source, that gives RH plus MgX and A. MgX and A. First suppose example that RMgBr, I'm treating with the HBr, we'll get the RH plus MgBr2, MgBr, or on reaction with water, H2O. So water is also proton source. So this R minus accept the proton, H plus, so RH, and here MgOH and Br. The remaining part of the H2O, OH minus and Br minus combines with magnesium. Of course, in these reactions, side product is not necessary. Just here main product R minus H2O, any proton source. That means here another in the form of like the CH3 CH2 MgCl, ethyl magnesium chloride. So this one I am treating with water. There is a proton source. You will get the which one? CH3 CH2 minus in this case. Then in this case Mg plus 2. Then in this case Cl minus 1. So CH3 CH2 minus is nothing but conjugate base that accepts the proton from the water. So here product is CH3 CH3 plus MgCl and OH. Okay. So which gas is released in this case? Ethane gas is released. CH3 CH2 minus that accepts the proton from the water. So here that Grignard reagent on reaction with any proton source, that is simply converted to alkene. Okay, by accepting the proton. So write down this one. Okay. So now some more reactions of this methyl magnesium bromide. Now in this case CH3 minus, here Mg plus 2, Br minus. So that CH3 minus accept the proton from the any proton source. Here all these are the proton source. Here water H plus, HTS, H plus. From ROH there is a H plus, and from NH3 there is a H plus, and from NH2 primary amine H plus, and secondary amine there is a H plus. Now there is a tertiary amine. So on this nitrogen there is no proton. So tertiary amines do not react with the Grignard reagent because it is not a proton source. Okay. And next carboxylic acid there is a proton, and sulfuric acid there is a proton, and the phenol there is a proton, and estylene there is a proton, and this cyclopentadiene there is a proton. So all these are the acidic compounds. So product is simply methane is the product. And this also simply methane is the product. Yeah, why this one is a proton source? Because this after loss of proton. This one after loss of proton. We get the conjugate base. This conjugate base is stabilized by the aromatic nature. This is the aromatic nature because 2 pi, 2 pi, 2 pi, 6 pi electrons. So that is the aromatic compound. So that's why this is the it can release a proton to the CH3 minus. Then generally acidic nature we are explaining on the basis of the conjugate base stability. If conjugate base more stable, then it is a more acidic. Okay, here are the reactions. Now first suppose this methyl magnesium bromide on reaction with OD, deuterated phenol. In this case, CH3 minus accept the D plus, so product is CH3D. CH3D. And next, first suppose this one treating with tertiary butyl alcohol. It's a proton source. The tertiary butyl alcohol is just a proton source. H plus combines with CH3 minus, so product is CH4. Or first suppose I'm treating with D2O. It is a D plus. It is a source for the D plus, and CH3 minus combines with D plus, so you get this CH3D. Dust. Or suppose this phenyl iodide on treating with magnesium tetrahydrofuran, we will get the magnesium iodide. So this one on treating with water or on treating with D2O or on treating with simply phenol. So here in this case, this is a phenyl magnesium iodide. This one is the naming is phenyl magnesium iodide. And in this case here Mg plus 2I minus, here minus. That means here it is C6H5 minus, C6H5 minus. So this C6H5 minus accept the H plus from the water. So that is converted to C6H6 is nothing but benzene. And this one is converted to C6H5D. So it is a deuterated benzene. That's it. So it is also proton source. So that is again converted to benzene. C6H5 accept the H plus from the phenol. So that is the product. So a acid base reaction. In these reactions that Grignard reagent acting as a base that accept the proton converted into hydrocarbon, methane or benzene like this. Okay, these are very important reactions of Grignard reagent as a base. Yeah. So next, a very simple application, that is Jerevitnov, Jerevitnov Jerevitnov active hydrogen determination. Jerevitnov Jerevitnov active hydrogen determination. So generally that Grignard reagent reacting with active hydrogen. Active hydrogen is nothing but acidic hydrogen. So here, based on reaction with methyl magnesium halide, we can determine the number of active hydrogens. Because here, suppose here this compound on reaction with methyl magnesium iodide. So let us take excess of methyl magnesium iodide. So this methyl magnesium iodide on reaction with the given compound, it can produce how many moles of methane gas? 3 moles of methane gas. CH3 minus accept the proton from the sp carbon, hydrogen which is attached to the sp carbon is acidic, and SH hydrogen, OHO hydrogen. So that produces 3 moles of methane gas, nothing but 22.4 into 3 liters. The methane gas is released. So based on that quantity of the gas releasing, we can determine the active hydrogens. Next here, this compound has 4 active hydrogens, so this one produces 4 moles of methane gas. Okay, so based on the number of moles of methane gas, we can determine the number of active hydrogens. For suppose we have 4 moles of methane gas, then this compound contains 4 active hydrogens. The given compound contains 4 active hydrogens. Okay, so next, Grignard reagent as nucleophile. That means it is an electron donor. In case of the nucleophile substitution reactions, initially that nucleophile attacks on the positively charged carbon. So here, the Grignard reaction as nucleophile. Here in this case, or suppose this benzyl bromide on treating with phenyl magnesium bromide. Phenyl magnesium bromide. So in this case, the pH minus, pH minus, the pH minus replace the Br minus. pH minus replace the Br minus. So it is a substitution reaction. It is a substitution reaction. MgBr. It is a substitution reaction. Which type of substitution? SN2 type substitution. Because it is charged nucleophile. The Br minus replaced by pH minus nucleophile. Or we can write like this also. Methyl magnesium bromide CH3 minus replace the Br minus. So product is CH3, CH2 and CH. That's it. So it is a nucleophile substitution reaction. It is a nucleophile substitution reaction. Of course, by this nucleophile substitution reaction, we cannot prepare the alcohol. Now here, for the preparation of the alcohol by using Grignard reagent, there are another type of reactions, that is nucleophilic addition reactions. Nucleophilic addition reactions. These are the nucleophile substitution reactions. Nucleophilic substitution reactions. Now, for the preparation of the alcohol from the Grignard reagent, that need to be discussed, the nucleophilic addition reactions. So what are the addition reactions? You know that addition reactions. So generally addition reactions means that unsaturated compounds are converted into saturated compounds by adding one reagent. So here we know that electrophilic addition reactions. Generally alkenes are involved in electrophilic addition reactions. So HCl addition, water addition, or bromine addition, all those reactions are the electrophilic addition reactions. Now here, what are the nucleophilic addition reactions? So in nucleophilic addition reactions, which compounds are involved? Carbonyl compounds are involved in nucleophilic addition reactions. Carbonyl compounds are involved in nucleophilic addition reactions. For suppose this one RMgX, Grignard reagent, activates nucleophile. So in this case here R minus Mg plus 2 X minus 1. This negatively charged alkyl group, now nucleophile, attacks on this carbon. Why this R minus attacks on this carbon? Because here this bond is a very polar bond that generally has negative charge on the oxygen and positive charge on the carbon. Negative charge on the oxygen, positive charge on the carbon. So here in this case, that R minus attracted towards this carbon, positive charged carbon. So here this alkyl group means carbon. So carbon-carbon bond formation. That means here this one O minus, here R. It is a newly formed bond. Now this O minus is neutralized by Mgx. Again here O minus X minus 1, Mg plus 2. Neutralization of the charges total. Now here this one on treating with acidification, for suppose HX. Let us take the HX. So O minus accept the H plus from the HX. So here OH and here R plus Mg X2. Here X minus Mg plus 2. So that is the preparation of the alcohol. And this reaction is a nucleophilic addition reaction. What is a nucleophilic addition reaction? Why it is addition reaction? Initially this unsaturated compound is converted to saturated compound. Around this carbon all are the sigma bonds, O pi bonds. So this is the addition reaction. And now here, why it is a nucleophilic addition reaction? Because initially this reaction is attacked by the R minus nucleophile. Initially the substrate is attacked by the R minus nucleophile. That's why it is a nucleophilic addition reaction. Okay? So carbonyl compounds are involved in nucleophilic addition reactions. This is very important. Carbonyl compounds are involved in nucleophilic addition reactions. Okay? So here, by addition of the Grignard reagent to the carbonyl compounds, we will get the alcohols. Okay, so we can write the one point. Carbonyl compounds are involved in nucleophilic addition reactions. Carbonyl compounds are involved in nucleophilic addition reactions. When Grignard reagent is added to the carbonyl compounds, when Grignard reagent is added to the carbonyl compounds, alcohols are produced. Alcohols are produced. Alcohols are produced. Either primary, secondary, or tertiary alcohols. Either primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohols. Okay? So write down this one. So here, formaldehyde plus methyl magnesium bromide. Okay? Formaldehyde plus methyl magnesium bromide. So listen carefully this one. Very important reagent, that Grignard reagent. So CH3 minus. CH3 minus attacks on this carbon. So here H, O minus, MgBr and H, and there is a carbon-carbon bond formation in this case. Now here, followed by acid workup, MgBr, HBr, H plus and water. That means here dilute acid you choose. You are using dilute acid, H plus H2. Or we can simply H3O plus H3O plus. And direct just water and waste by adding H2O. Here protonation takes place. H here OH, H and CH3 plus MgBr 2 HBr replacement. Okay, that is just water replacement. Proton loss MgBr OH. That's it. Of course, side product is not necessary. So we will get the primary alcohol in this case. It is a primary alcohol, it is ethyl alcohol, so primary alcohol. So your first preparation method, ethyl alcohol preparation, there is nothing but primary alcohol by using which one? Formaldehyde. By using formaldehyde. And next, okay, very simple reaction. The CH3 minus is attached to the carbon, okay, then O minus, followed by acid workup, that becomes a OH. Very simple. So here finally adding groups in double bond O, here H, CH3, MgBr, followed by acid workup, acidification. So just a CH3 minus to this carbon and hydrogen to the oxygen. That means here H here, OH, H and CH. Okay? So CH3 minus from the Grignard reagent and here proton from the water. So second step. That's it. Okay? Addition of the Grignard reagent. Now here let us consider this acetaldehyde. Let us take this acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde on treating with methyl magnesium bromide followed by acid workup. Then what is the product? CH3, here OH, H and this one CH3. That's it. So it is a secondary alcohol. This one is the secondary alcohol. Okay, don't bother about the side product. Just take addition followed by acid workup. First, suppose take the acetone. Take acetone. And now here, this methyl magnesium bromide and second one followed by acid workup. Then what is the product? What is the alkyl group in Grignard reagent? CH3. So adding CH3. and then that oxygen becomes a OH. So it is a tertiary butyl alcohol. Tertiary butyl alcohol. That's it. So we can prepare the primary alcohol, secondary alcohol, or tertiary butyl alcohol. Not only with the magnesium bromide, we can take any compound, any Grignard reagent. Or suppose, first write this one. First, suppose CH3 double bond O, CH3. This one treating with phenyl magnesium bromide. And second one, acid worker. So pH minus attacks at this one. From the second step, H plus attacks on the oxygen. So product is CH3, OH, CH3 and phenyl. So any compound. The alkyl magnesium halide ante alkyl group edaina kavachu. Methyl kavachu, ethyl kavachu, propyl kavachu, vinyl kavachu, whatever it is. We can take. Or suppose cyclohexanone on treating with CH2 double bond CH MgBr and then acid worker. So then what is the product? So this one becomes a OH and this one CH double bond CH. That's it. That is the product. Okay, just here CH2 double bond CH minus added to this carbon and this one becomes a OH from the second step. So very simple, just addition of the Grignard reagent we can prepare the alcohols. Now here in this case, to prepare objective type of questions, to prepare secondary butyl alcohol. Secondary butyl alcohol. To prepare the secondary butyl alcohol, what are the suitable combinations? Okay, secondary butyl alcohol means here CH3, COH, H, CH2, CH. Secondary butyl alcohol. So here, for the preparation of the secondary butyl alcohol, there are two possibilities. So one is CH3C double bond H plus CH3 CH2 MgBr, and another one CH3 CH2 double bond H plus CH3 MgBr. By these two combinations, we can prepare tertiary secondary butyl alcohol. So first here CH3 CH2 minus CH3 CH2 minus. So now this one bonding to this carbon and this one becomes a OH by hydrolysis in second step. So here CH3 and OH, okay, CH3 and this one oxygen becomes OH and already there is a hydrogen. And here bonding between this carbon and this carbon, ethyl carbon. So CH2, CH, that's it. Secondary butyl alcohol. Now in this case, CH3 minus bonding with this carbon and this oxygen becomes a OH. So first of all, write this one. So CH3, CH2C, OH, H and CH3. Every compound is secondary butyl alcohol. So here any compound you can prepare by taking suitable combinations. Okay. So you will see now the two questions. Just write down first. Okay. So next, last addition, what about hydrolysis? Or suppose another one, OH and CH. So for this compound preparation, we can take two combinations. One is cyclohexane magnesium chloride plus, for this compound preparation only one possibility. Just here cyclohexanone plus methyl magnesium bromide. That's it. There is only one possibility. Okay. Now, double bond would develop. This compound on treating with. Let us take stereochemistry. Let us discuss stereochemistry. So in this case, CH3 double bond O H, acetaldehyde. This compound is an acetaldehyde compound. So this acetaldehyde compound on treating with phenyl magnesium bromide. Okay, phenyl magnesium bromide. So generally, this compound is sp2 hybridized. That means here planar. This carbon is sp2 hybridization and planar. That means here carbon oxygen double bond O and hydrogen and here methane. So here this carbon attacked by the nucleophile, there is nothing but pH minus either front side or back side. Because it's a planar one. This C double bond O group is a planar one. It's a sp2 carbon. So in this case, like in a SN1 reaction, there is a carbohydrate formation, nucleophile attacks from either front side or back side. And similarly, in this case also, the C double bond is a planar one. So incoming nucleophile pH minus attacks from either front side or back side. We will get the two mirror images. 50-50. That means here dextro 50%, levo 50%. So here in this case, so I am writing like this. So here OH, phenyl and CH3H or pH CH3H. So 50% of this isomer and 50% of this isomer. If it is a dextro, it is a levo. Okay, both are the mirror images. Both are the mirror images. 50-50 also. Okay, if there is a chiral carbon, of course. Of course, here it is a methane and it is also methyl. So there is no need to discuss about this stereochemistry. Here this is methyl, hydrogen, and now this coming nucleophile also different. You will get the chiral carbon. And chiral carbon possible enough to matter. And 50% is one isomer, 50% is other isomer. Both are the mirror images. Two mirror images are called as the enantiomers, and these two enantiomers are produced in equal amounts. That mixture is nothing but racemic mixture. Is nothing but racemic mixture. Okay, it's a very important. First, suppose this one I am treating with methyl magnesium bromide, just single product, because there is no generation of the chiral carbon. Methyl same moves, no chiral carbon, so single product is produced. Okay, there is addition of the Grignard reagent to the component compounds. So addition of the Grignard reagent to the component compounds produce alcohols. Okay, and another one simple application. Here double bond or double bond. This one treating with methyl magnesium bromide. Here two CO groups like. So if two equivalents, you have to take the two equivalents. Followed by acid workup. So here CH3 OH and OH and CH3. That's it. Okay. Now some advanced level C double bond O and methane. This compound are treating ethyl magnesium chloride. Ethyl magnesium chloride. So in this case, two equivalents. Then product is OH and ethyl. OH and ethyl. For this one, how many chiral carbons? Two chiral carbons. Okay? And this compound is symmetrical. The compound with symmetry and with two chiral carbons that has a how many isomers? Three isomers. Like tartaric acid that has two chiral carbons, has symmetry. So number of possible isomers 3. So in this reaction, number of possible products are the 3. Because in this case, it is a symmetric molecule. There are two chiral carbons. So here, by using formula, The number of stimulation was 3. Okay, of course it's clear. Advanced level question. That's it. Okay. Stereochemistry. So if it is a chiral carbon, we will get the two isomers, dextro and lime. There is nothing but racemic mixture, and that mixture is optically inactive because optical activity of one compound is cancelled by the exactly equal amount of other compound.